Hi, Tracy here with the Idea Closet, and I have another Silhouette Cameo tutorial for you. This is lesson 2 from our class, and today we're going to be working with SVGs and digital files. So let's go ahead and get started. We're going to open up our Silhouette Studio Design Edition. This is the only edition that you can actually work with SVGs directly. In another video, I'll show you how to do the workaround if you don't have this one. But for this, we're going to go ahead and get started. We're going to come up to our file and we're going to find our SVG file that we want. And the project that we're working on today is a crayon box. So I'm going to open that up, and as you'll notice, here's my file, but I have nothing in here. And that's because I have Silhouette Studio selected as my file type. So you need to do the drop-down menu and come down to SVGs and click it. And that will bring open all of the SVG files I have in this file. And today we're going to work with this crayon box. So I'm going to go ahead and open it. And this was a free download from svgcuts.com, and I'll put a link on my blog for that. So let's go ahead and get started. Once you open this up, there's your crayon box. All ready to go, except that it won't cut right now. It's just printed on your paper. And so what you'll have to do is you have to highlight this, just simply click on it, and come up here to your cut window. Go ahead and open your cut window, and then you want to hit cut. And what that does is that's going to outline all of your cut lines, and in this case your perforations. If you don't want the perforations and you just want the outside of the box, you could hit cut edge, but I actually want them for this. So you're going to go ahead and hit the cut box, and then I'm going to come over here to my page window, and once again it shows up. It doesn't look like there's anything in there to cut, but it is. So you can go ahead and send that to your Silhouette and cut it out. That's all there is to SVGs. It's very, very simple. Just open them up, and then make sure that you use your cut window and hit cut. Okay, so now that we've cut that out of just plain paper, I'm going to show you something else that you can do, and you can turn this SVG into a print file, and it's really easy to do. So all I'm going to do is, while this is highlighted, I'm going to come down here and I'm going to open up another file that has some digital paper and elements in it. And I already know that the one that I want is my diamond paper. This is from the Hocus Pocus collection. It's also a free digital collection that I downloaded, and I will have that link on my blog also. So I'm going to go ahead and just grab this, click on it, and I'm going to drag it over here to my box. And then when I move this, it has automatically filled that box with the digital paper that I want. So very easy. So just grab it and drag it. There's also some other options you can use to fill your box. You can come up here to your fill shapes, and you can hit your glass of water, which is the fill window. And you can pick any of these colors down here that you want. If you wanted to do orange or red, you can do that. We have the gradient tool right here, and that just simply adds a little bit of a varying degree of your colors. So that's a really fun tool to use, and you can also change the direction by using that tool. This is your fill pattern paper, and so something that you could do down here is, if you like that black check, you could fill it in with that, or you could come down here and, let's say, oh, you wanted this purple and yellow plaid, and then get ready to print it out. Now I'm just going to go back to, we're going to hit Control Z a bunch of times, and we're going to take it back to our digital paper. Whoops, went one too far. I'm going to take it back to our digital paper. Now, if I wanted to print this, I wouldn't be able to print it for me in a 12 by 12 because I don't have a 12 by 12 printer. So I'm going to need to put this on an 11.5 or 8.5 by 11 sheet of paper. So I'm going to come up here to my page window, and I'm going to simply click on letter. Now, the next thing that I need to do is I need to make sure that I have my cutting mat selected. And this is an important step that a lot of times we forget, but if you forget this and then try to go back and do it, your print and cut probably won't match up. So go ahead and select your cutting mat. Of course, you could use a letter. I just always use the 12 by 12, even if I'm using a letter size paper. The next thing that I want to do is I'm going to come up here to my registration marks, and I'm going to set those. I'm going to click on that, and then I'm going to click on this that says Show Registration Marks. Now here is where your silhouette or your cameo is going to read what to cut. Is these hash lines and these marks right here. Now once you print this, you won't print the hash lines, but you will have these 3 marks, and those are very important to be able to read where to cut. Now as you can see, my crayon box does not fit quite on this paper. For one, it's going the wrong direction, and another, it's inside these or outside of these red cut lines. If you have an item hanging over this red cut line, it won't print properly. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and click on this, and the first thing that we're going to do is we're just going to rotate it. And I'm just going to rotate it 45 degrees. Whoops, maybe I should have done 90 degrees. So there we go. And I'm going to just bring it back into here. Now it doesn't quite fit in there. Again, it's still a little big. I guess if I inched it and inched it, but you can see on the sides that it's still not going to right through there. It's still on the print. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come up here to my scale tool. Right here, scale, and I'm just going to change that barely by like 95%. So I'm going to type in 95% and apply, and that's going to squish it down just a little bit to make that fit. So there is my crayon box with my digital paper all ready to print. And I know that I've already shown a few tutorials on how to print, so you would simply come up here to your print button, send it to the printer. For me, I like to do it on cardstock. You're going to switch this to your highest degree of print quality. Your printer will be a little bit different than mine, but you want to select the highest that you can, and then go ahead and click OK. Once it's printed, you'll send it over here to your silhouette simply by hitting cut. You want to make sure, mine's not plugged in right now, so you're going to want to make sure that everything is turned on. We're going to come back here. That your cutting mat, that your track enhancement, and then all of your settings. And then you just go ahead and hit cut. It will read your registration marks, and it will cut out your crayon box. Perfect way, easy way to use an SVG. I hope you've enjoyed that tutorial, and if you have any questions, just let me know.